everybody, and welcome back to Mommy and Me Reviews. I'm Janae.
I'm Mona.
And that's my mom. So, I know we missed last week. I know. The reason we missed last week is because by the time we would have recorded it and got it up, y'all wouldn't have cared about it no more. So, this week we are reviewing Married at First Sight, Season 14, Episode 5. We are going to talk about some of the stuff that happened in 4, just because it kind of developed into 5, but charge it to our heads and on our hearts, we've been busy. Alright, so before we get started, make sure you like, subscribe, and comment below. We love your feedback so that we can know, what you guys are thinking about this season, because it's already a trip and we're only on episode 5.
No. It's a lot happening.
It's a lot happening. Who do you want to start with this week? Let's jump into it. Oh, these are my notes, guys. So if you see me looking over here, that's what you're seeing.
That's what I have first on my list, that they showed them first.
Lindsay and Mark the Shark.
Mark the Shark. I don't know how much of a shark he is now.
What do you mean?
He's being a little soft, like he's scared of Lindsay.
You think so? I think he's annoyed.
He is annoyed.
He don't seem scared of her. He seems like, ugh, I'm starting not to like him. They had sex, and she was mad weird about it when she told about it. She was like,
Her laughing.
Yeah, it was super weird.
Super weird.
Ew.
Right. But Mark is growing on me now.
You didn't like him?
I didn't like him that much at first.
What didn't you like about him?
I don't know. I thought he was gonna be weird with the eyes. I thought he was gonna be weird with those eyes. But now he's got a good personality and he's really trying and he's so nice.
He didn't seem weird to me.
He seemed a little weird to me. Like this is your last chance, because of course he was on the show already. Not now.
He just seemed exhausted on day 3. Like exhausted.
Lindsay is a lot, and that's all they kept saying, and now we totally get it. She is a lot.
She is. You know what I do really like about them? I think they have good conversations. Their conversations seem very deep. Like, it seems like they're learning about each other on a deeper level than maybe some of the other couples. Steve and Noy, I think, have similar conversations.
Yes.
But
I like that.
her and Mark have good conversations.
They do. And they're I think they're the couple that knows the most about each other.
I think so too. And he was like, wow, look at all the stuff I know about you. I don't like it.
Some of the things.
She drives me insane. That's what I put in my notes. She drives me insane. And when they were making pina coladas,
yes,
and he was talking about how, I don't remember exactly what he was saying, but he was like expressing himself about his past relationships, and she interrupted and was like, sounds like you're a people pleaser. You just do what people want you to do. I'm like, man, he is expressing himself.
Let him go.
And she just cut him off and was like, yeah, you need to work on that. He's not a people pleaser.
Okay, Lindsay the psychiatrist.
I feel like what she was saying was valid, but her delivery was like,
Talk about delivery, now that you say that, by the end of the show, this little monologue or whatever he was doing was terrible. He said it all
I can't
wrong.
breathe. I feel like I can't breathe.
Just back up a little bit. I need you to back up a little bit.
It's just a lot going on, and just like every time I get to know you, something happens.
Yeah,
I understood what he was
instances-
saying.
Right, what he was trying to say. Yeah.
The only thing is, in her defense, it's the same instance. It's not like something new happened in these days. It's like they are arguing about the same thing they argued about the first time. So it's not a new instance.
Right.
This is the same thing just popping up again.
It was brought up, right.
Yeah.
Right, it was brought up. And the too lovey-dovey part? When he said that? What did he mean by that? I had a question mark for that. Like, too lovey-dovey? I don't think they do a lot of PDA. Or maybe
I don't
off
think he was
camera.
talking
Maybe
about
off
PDA.
camera.
I think he was talking about how fast they're making a connection.
Oh,
I think he was talking about how I love you, and like how fast they've connected with each other. I think that's what he was trying to say.
right. her stupid. I can back way up.
Oh,
She
she
went
so
in.
stupid.
She went in.
Yeah, she did.
She went in. Yeah.
She was like,
So upset.
oh, you want me to back up? Okay, so stop farting in front of me. Stop
Going to the bathroom.
moving in the toilet.
Oh.
She was dead serious. Like, okay, then don't do that. I think what she was trying to say was, I'm looking past all your flaws because I'm connecting with you. I'm all in, and I'm just letting my guard down. If we're not doing that, let me know. I'll put my guard back up and point out all the things that I hate about you.
Right.
Because it feels like you're pointing out all the things you hate about me right now.
And he said it all. What he was trying to say did not come across great at all. And that's all I have to say about it.
I think that her reaction was appropriate. Like, I think what she was saying to him was appropriate. Like, I don't understand what you're saying.
Right, because of what he said.
And you don't want me to feel like
comfortable around you.
Because once he said the lovey-dovey thing, she was like, it's just making me feel like you're not into me.
Right.
And
of course she would have that reaction. Right.
We've already been lovey-dovey. We were finally intimate.
We consummated. Right.
And now you're like,
ooh,
also,
hey,
no. This whole life thing. Full of that.
He was just really trying to say some of her personality traits are rubbing me the wrong way. He didn't know how to say it.
And it felt like he was saying, the more I learn about you, the more I'm not liking what I see. So maybe keep that in mind while we're trying to learn about each other. And I think we should take it slower to learn about each other because I feel like I'm learning too much about you too fast because I don't like it.
And I thought she was going to take the maybe not have a bunch of drinks at one time. I thought she was going to take that wrong, but she was like, oh,
Are they trying to edit in the drinking problem?
No, I don't know. They did that for the other Lindsay. They did. But I thought she was going to take that wrong, but she was like, oh, okay, I get it. Because he was like, you had 3 bottles.
He had 3 bottles of wine.
Right. Like, okay, not whole bottles. Was it really the whole bottle? I wonder.
They said that the flight attendant was like, yo, sit down.
Oh.
Like on the plane,
Okay.
how the whole altercation happened.
Right.
They said that she was drunk and acting out on the plane. And then afterwards, she came up to Elijah and asked him if he spoke Spanish. Now, I will say, I was kind of offended because why would you ask him, does he speak Spanish? Does he look Hispanic to you?
I thought maybe they were already in a conversation.
I don't think they were because they don't even like her. So I know they wasn't talking to her about their nationality.
No, they didn't like her yet.
Yes, they did.
She was rubbing some people the wrong way.
They already said, oh, and she was sitting in front of us, and she kept jabbing, she kept talking, and it's blah, blah, blah. And then she tried to make it seem as if Elijah was the aggressor, when she was the one who was like, oh, you want to fight? You're looking at me like you want to fight. Ma'am.
I wish they would have shown that on camera.
Where were the cameramen? Y'all are everywhere else. Where were the cameramen?
Absolutely.
How did y'all miss that? That's going to go down in history as the biggest miss.
Right.
Because what happened?
Because Lindsay was triggered.
I don't like that word. I don't like that word. For you to say, oh, I was triggered, you're taking like the victim role as if somebody did something to you and honestly, while we're talking about the incident, let's transition into Elijah and Katina, our next couple. Initially, I was on their side. Not that I ever switched over out of their side, but I do feel like they're dragging it now. Katina's dragging it now a little bit. Initially, I was on their side because I do feel like she did that whole, I felt scared for my life. Like, don't give us white girl tears. You're fine.
What was that? She felt
Lindsay.
scared for her life. Oh, Lindsay. Yes.
I felt so scared. Don't do that. Because you weren't scared when you were up in that man's face asking him to speak Spanish. You weren't scared then.
They dragged it. She dragged it.
Like, you weren't scared then. So now that people is trying to pop off, now you want to be like, oh, don't do that.
Right. You're afraid of their reaction to what you did.
And then don't use the word aggressive. I hate that.
Please
Don't say, oh, and he was just so aggressive. Just because a black man
unnecessary.
It was a test. Who are you to test me?
Right. Now, if she would have stormed off, you would have had an attitude.
She would have failed the test.
Right. No.
Sir,
no.
don't test me.
That was over the top.
And don't test me being mean. You being mean.
Right. He was mean. And his face was so serious.
He was like, don't play.
Right.
Serious.
You're smiling.
And I can smile, and I'm leaving.
Exactly. But she didn't do that. She did stay. But
I don't know why.
I don't know when he said that she expressed she didn't care for something.
I think when she was doing something on the floor, she was like, oh, that's uncomfortable for me.
Okay.
I think that's all it was.
Oh.
Because she did not push back as much as I feel like she should have pushed back.
She should have.
Why are you letting him talk to you like that?
Yeah. That was unnecessary.
That workout session would have got 5 minutes in and I would have been like, oh yeah, this is not for me. One thing that I have learned about life is that you have to find things that you and your spouse like to do together, but you also have to leave room for you and your spouse to have different interests. If everything that you do is wrapped up in everything that your spouse does, it's too much.
Right.
You know,
spend time together doing things that you like together, and then you do need your me time. I think
and
working
the
out
gym
should be
sounds
his
like his
me
me
time.
time.
Absolutely.
You don't feel like you need to have anybody else there while you're
Absolutely.
I was so mad. And mind you, this is his second time at the gym today. He went to the gym that morning. Remember she said that? Bye.
And what was with the nasty sweating thing? Ew.
That don't seem.
She seems so bougie.
The only thing that annoyed me about it was you want him to cuddle with you, but you also don't want him to sweat. Man, he cannot help that he sweat. How you gonna be mad?
Right.
She said he needs to go get Botox under his arm.
She did. That was extra.
Or you can sleep on your side of the bed. You want him to cuddle you. He don't want to cuddle you. You the one complaining about his cuddling. You gonna complain about his cuddling and his sweat?
So I'm guessing the sweat thing. He didn't take a shower before he gets in bed, or
What do you
he's
mean?
still sweating. He's still sweating during the night. He's just a sweater.
What?
I'm thinking he worked out and got it.
No. She's saying he sweats in his sleep.
Oh,
My daughter sweats in her sleep like that too. And it's gross. But she can't help it.
Right.
Are you mad?
Get over it.
I don't know. It's something about the way that it feels like she wants to like him so much that she is bending a little too much for me.
I don't think she would have took anybody else talking to her in the gym like that besides him.
Or when they had on the boat, when he kept talking about, oh yeah, have you ever slept with two people that was related? Sir, be quiet. Sir, stop talking.
Just stop.
Stop talking.
That just makes me feel like he's not done playing around. He wants his wife to be a freak.
I didn't get that.
I feel like that's exactly what he wants. If she would have been like, oh, a third party? Yeah, you've never done that? Oh, I've done that quite a few times. I think he'd be okay with it.
Well, duh, that's what
Why
you
would
said.
I know. Why would I deny another woman coming into bed?
It didn't give me that. It just gave me that he's obviously not embarrassed about his past. It is not something that he shies away from, and he's just overly comfortable sharing things that don't need to be shared. Sir, keep that to yourself.
For your wife.
You're embarrassing me. You're embarrassing. And then what I didn't like was when they finally had a conversation about it, she was like, oh, it didn't bother me. You're lying. And you're settling.
The way she looked.
I know it bothered you because
reaction.
you were embarrassed. Because everybody on that boat was like,
with their mouths wide open. Right.
you're embarrassed. Say that. Say, actually, I didn't like it. And I was very embarrassed by you saying it. It just felt like that was a conversation that we could have had with each other. Because everybody didn't need to know that.
Everybody didn't need to know it. Who suggested that game?
I thought the game was fun. The game seemed fine. It seemed like fun. Everybody was having a good time. He took it overboard. And honestly, the game was over. And he was like, no, give me another question. Sir, sit back and sit down because the game's done now. Chihuahua. I loved it. Sir, don't call me a Chihuahua. That was last episode. He calls her a Chihuahua. And then he keeps saying, oh yeah, she was defending me. Sir, you don't need defending. You told her you was over it. I know we talked about the fact that you didn't want me to bring it up, but I brought it up. Why? Because we talked about it. You made me waste my time to talk about you, to talk to you about bringing it up, and you did it anyway. She seems very confrontational too. She seems childish. Like they both seem childish, like young-minded. Like, girl, tell him that was inappropriate. Oh, I'm fine with it. You're lying. You're not. You're not. I did think it was cute when they did a little God brought us to this, he'll get us through this. God brought us to this, he'll get us through this. Amen. That's like their little thing.
I have 40 on my sheet. I forgot why I put it down there, but he said something that was so corny. I was like, I'm over you and these. This is my soulmate. This is the person that I was meant to be with. Just give it a rest.
What does he feel like that?
Just give it a rest. He's making himself feel like that because he keeps saying it.
Yeah, I don't know
So
if
corny
he,
to me.
I don't know if he's like all in. I think he feels like he's supposed to be all in, and so he's gonna fake it till I make it kind of all in.
Okay.
I think he likes her,
I do think he likes her.
but again, like you said a couple episodes ago, like I really feel like she don't have no personality, and I kind of still feel like she don't have no personality because she is Chris, but Elijah Wan is accepting of it, so it doesn't feel as bad. Like she is like, oh, you like the beach? I like the beach. Oh, you want to go work out? Okay, I'll go work out.
I thought you were talking about the other.
No.
Okay.
Chris from this season.
Gotcha.
Oh, you want to do this? Oh, I want to do this. But Elijah Wan's like, yeah, okay, cool. Like, yeah. I want to argue with this Lindsay girl. Oh, me too. Don't talk to him like that. Two peas in a pod. Instead of being like, actually, I don't want to go work out. And I would prefer that we did something else together because I don't like working out.
Right.
And she said that. I don't like working out, but I'm just going to go along with it. Why?
And by her going along with it, that test meme thing, whatever, that was so unnecessary.
But
The fact
he
that
didn't
she
even
already
know
said-
that she said that in a confessional.
Oh,
He didn't know
okay.
that she didn't like working out or want to go because she didn't say that. Because she's not going to tell him that she doesn't want to do something. She's just going to do it and pretend that that's what she wants to do. She's like a people pleaser, but just for him. You know what? There really wasn't that many people that didn't get on my nerves this episode. Even best friend.
Ooh, best friend.
Best friend was getting on my
Y'all
nerves.
broke up. Y'all broke up.
Best friend getting on my nerves too. Let's move on to our next couple, Jasmina and Michael. She is starting to seem stank to me.
A little bit.
He like sets her attitude when they first woke up in the morning. She acts like she didn't have one, as if he was tripping. And he had the conversation with her and was like, hey, you know, I feel like things are off and I just want to be intentional and blah blah blah. And she's like, I think you're overthinking and being negative. You gonna bring up this negative thing until it is
The cows come home, right? His sister said it. It don't have to be all the way true about every single situation. So let it go. Let it go.
And just because he's not positive doesn't necessarily mean he's negative. And I think what he was saying made sense. And I think what he brought up made sense. Halfway. The other half of it was him overthinking because it has been 3 days. So I don't know where you think y'all are supposed to be at 3 days. That part was overthinking. But I understand his thought process and why he feels that way. All my other relationships fell apart because of X, Y, and Z. I'm trying to make sure that it's not happening here, so I'm checking it with you.
That is what he was saying.
That's what he was saying. That's it.
What was the second thing that they had a disagreement about? He said that she cut him off.
He made that up. She didn't cut him off.
She didn't.
And
he looked right at her and was asking her a question.
And the
like, was
producer